defense, what's the most important thing you want to see from your unit, given what happened Saturday?
I'd say, yeah.
Dave was talking about the run.
Yeah. Well, you're always going to say, stop the run first. That's an easy one. But past that, I would say great communication and great tackling. Those two things.
Earlier this week, both Tanner and Joel kind of expressed they were waiting to see how it all played out, how it all worked out for them. Do you feel more comfortable that they're comfortable with how it'll all work or play out on Saturday for the rotation or whatever it is for them?
Yeah, Andy and Joel Stave and Tanner McAvoy will handle that, and they're in a good spot. I think they'll understand exactly where they fit, and said it before, I'm saying it again. The key is how's the offense around those two kids.
What do you expect from those two?
Manage the offense, give us an opportunity to win the game.
Coach, there's a report out there that Joel will start Saturday. Can you confirm that at all?
No, that's Andy Ludwig's call.
Gary, as far as the offensive line, I know Rob was very critical of his play, and I'm just curious what you saw from them this week in practice.
Well, I think Rob is a tremendous competitor. I'm sure if he's made those statements, it's definitely something that bothered him. A solid week of practice, but I've never really seen that group not have a solid week of solid work. You said it wrong. No, you did it backwards too. A solid work week. There we go. Excuse me. So their expectation levels will play very good on Saturday.
So Jordan said that back in the spring you had a conversation with him about just kind of taking the next step forward and expecting more out of him. Can you just talk about that conversation and why you felt like you needed to talk to him?
Well, I think anytime you have a young man that's talented, I tell these kids, I'm going to push them. I'm going to push them physically. I'm going to push them mentally. I'm going to be hard on them. I'm going to be critical. And if I see an opportunity that I need to be, and that wasn't really critical at that point, but it is pushing him. And it's expecting him to be a great corner, which I think he has the God-given ability to be the great corner. But just because you have that God-given ability does not make you a great corner and or great at any position. So pushing him hard and continually pushing him this season is important, and I think it's a big part of this job.
Do you feel like he's played up to your expectation this season?
He's been very solid. I think he expects more out of himself, and I know there's more in Sojourn. He's played good, and he'll expect to continually play better, and he has high expectations, and so do I as he continues through his career. And again, I look forward to seeing him play on Saturday.
One of the themes of the season, I think, has been the slow start thing.
Mm-hmm.
Melvin's brought it up a lot. After you've watched all these games, is there one thing that you can point to and say, if we do that better, we'll have a better start to our game?
Yeah, I think the biggest key would be if Melvin would get 43 yards on his first carry, and then we'd be a fast starting team. I don't know. I don't know if there's really one thing I can put my finger on. I feel like there's numerous ways where we've stopped ourselves from having success in the first quarter and in the second quarter, whether that be a turnover, whether that be a missed third down opportunity that we leave out there on the field, poor execution, a penalty. They're all there, and that's easy to say because that's usually how drives do stop and how things don't go your way on the offensive side of the football. A lot has been made about the slow start, and I think these kids want to start the right way. On the flip side, we've started fast most of the week on defense, so good on one side, bad on the other. But combination, not one just thing that's hampered us or stopped us from being successful on offense.
Gary, you said if one quarterback gets hot, then run away with the competition. I know you're maybe hoping to see that. Will you go into this game giving both those guys equal opportunities? I know they've said that the reps were split pretty evenly, at least as far as Tuesday's practice.
Yeah, we'll go into this game with the bottom line of what the best opportunity we believe for us to be able to win. And I think both those quarterbacks have had enough opportunities to be in a spot and to be able to play. Joel has been obviously just limited to one game this season, but they've both been in the moment. They've both been in those situations. So if we have a young man that is rolling through the game and at a high success level, we could very easily stick with that. But those packages for certain situations will still be available to us. Much like you would say, you get a call sheet and it's, 2nd and 4 and it's a control down for Andy and he has the power play, he has the zone play, he has the bash, he has the bob, he has some play action. There's an opportunity to have Tanner in there that opens up 2 or 3 different runs, so you may see him in those settings in certain situations.
It probably isn't even a can of worms that you want to open, but should both quarterbacks struggle? Is it possible that we'll see Bart?
Yeah, we have to find a quarterback that's can function and run our football team the best we can be. So I'm not going to rule out anything at this point. But I would say this again: I don't look at last week's film and sit back and say, "Wow, those quarterbacks cost us that football game." In no way, shape, or form do I believe that from the play of Tanner or from the play of Joel. Do they want to play better? Sure they do, but there's a lot of things that go into an offense being effective. So that's when I say again, we need to find the quarterback that'll manage the game and kind of gets the offense moving consistently in the right direction.
When you talk about whether it was after the game or on Monday about trying to get the entire offense, not just the quarterbacks, to play better, one of the groups you singled out was the young receivers.
Yep.
Have you seen them respond to this challenge this week? How have they dealt with it, would you say?
I think they've done a good job this week in practice. Those kids are living in a crazy world. I walked out of here last night and walking to Mendota, and it's 6:30, and out runs George Rushing from the locker room with a still sweaty shirt on and a backpack, sprinting to make it to a tutoring appointment in 15 minutes. So those kids live in a crazy world right now. And but as far as their performance out on the field, I see those steps. We need to give them those opportunities to get out there and hopefully do it in this setting, which is as big as it gets in college football.
Injury-wise, Marcus said yesterday and Dave said yesterday that he may not go. It's unlikely he's going to go. Is that your idea?
That would still be the case today. He would be, I guess, doubtful, however you want to say that.
How's the rest of the team?
Pretty good. Yeah, no surprises that have come to my mind as far as kids that are in or out or indifferent. So we should be operating in a pretty good spot.
You said Andy's going to be making the decision on the quarterback.
Yeah, I'm sure Andy's already made that call. Those guys are rolling through there. He's communicated with the quarterbacks, and I'm sure as he sees fit, he'll communicate with the quarterbacks and he'll communicate with the offenses needed. And but I do, like we said earlier, expect them both to have an opportunity to go out and play.
Right. My question was going to be, how did you have a role in that at all?
This week in practice, as far as saying who's going to turn out to be the starting quarterback, Andy and I have sat down and we've discussed the offense, and I watch practice. Andy is a very good coordinator, and he gets paid to turn around and make those decisions. And I think right now the opportunity for him to do what he thinks is best for his offense and have both those kids in that spot is important. And I want to be part of it, I want to be involved in it, but he's in a position to continually be with those kids all the time, and we're going into it thinking they're both going to play. So who takes? You might as well, I guess, flip a coin and call heads or tails to see who's going to take the first snap. Just because one person takes the first snap does not mean, they're ahead now. I mean, let's not all of a sudden make this a bigger creature than it is, if that's possible.
With your history, the winner of the 2-point toss would defer, right?
I would defer, yeah. So, but if I was going to be the starting quarterback, I probably wouldn't. I'd want the ball, so that would break it.
You still hoping that Andy can find a way to get both those guys on the field at the same time this week?
I don't know if that'll take place this week, but as we move forward, that'll be something we'll discuss. And again, it's just the key focus, our offense being able to stably run, best using the kids that we have available to us. And I think that's more important right now than inventing things to try to make us move down the field. We want to functionally run our offense, and that's important for us at this point.